Guys, welcome to the Incredibly Average Podcast. I'm your host, Devin. We're here with
Eric,
Johnny,
Mike,
and we are missing Travis today. He is busy working for the man, being blue collar, fixing
good riddance.
cables. Man, people are probably crazy today because of the Super Bowl. I always think it's probably a bad day.
Mhm.
Anything big on TV is like cable man's nightmare. So we got some old business to talk about here. Mr. Tabor is back with us today after missing his debut where we debuted his new song.
Yeah.
On the last,
Yeah.
I did get permission. He did let me know that I could play it a little bit, just a preview, sneak peek.
sure.
But it was a good song. We haven't talked about it yet. I haven't seen you since it came out here, but
No, we haven't.
it's fire.
it didn't win a Grammy yet, but
It-
it's probably in this next.
It was
cycle.
too early to be eligible for this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Close.
Next year, I mean, Kendrick, watch out,
You might sweep. with that.
Song of the year.
Yeah. And something else that we had to talk about. Did you listen to the last episode?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear us talking about the tattoo thing?
Absolutely.
What was your take on it? Because I'm pretty sure Travis is wrong here.
You both are technically incorrect.
Oh.
So when we made the deal, it wasn't said exactly that my name had to be on it. However, part of the deal was that I have to approve the design, and I do want my name on it.
Okay.
So
Okay.
That's what I thought. But yeah, I don't know. We got to get on Travis because he might try to back off of that. But when we talked about it again, like an hour later, he said that he was going to get that steak with the words.
yeah,
cut
it sounds like his idea has it. But he's fighting it for some
Yeah,
reason.
I don't know why he's arguing about it, but his idea has it in it. I don't know, but I always thought that the agreement was we had to get a prime cut tattoo, and just assuming that it had to say prime cut in some way.
Right. It wasn't blatantly said that it had to say prime cut. It just had to represent prime cut, but I do have to approve it. So
Okay.
just clarifying.
Well,
I
good to know.
do want it on there. So
we'll at least be able to move forward then now,
for sure.
since we have that straightened out, because I wasn't sure.
But I'm glad you guys liked the song.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. How's it been doing on Spotify? People getting some listens on it?
I mean, you stopped listening, so
I haven't listened to it for a day or two.
I don't know. I haven't really been tracking.
Oh.
Honestly,
I was just wondering.
I'm not expecting much.
It's got at least probably 30, 40.
I've listened to it 30 times.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
yeah, what was the process? Did you enjoy it? Did you enjoy it writing and recording it and everything, or?
So it was definitely a mixture, because the first couple weeks I didn't really do anything with it. Not because I didn't want to, I was just busy. And then I know I had told you at one point, like in a separate conversation, but one of my least favorite parts about making music is finding beats to use. And there was a night where like I was listening to beats online for like 3 hours and didn't find anything I liked.
Dang.
Like that would like fit with like what I wanted, or not that they were horrible or anything, just the style I was looking for, or that I could flow on. So I was getting kind of annoyed with that. And then eventually I found one and I had something to it. And then a couple days later, like we're in like the week before MLK Day, right? The deadline. And I scrapped it. I wasn't digging it. Like the flow of my lyrics, like the flow on the instrumental, I felt like I was slower than I wanted and everything. So I just scrapped that one, and I was like, all right, back to the drawing board. But I found another beat, the one I ended up using that I liked. And then, I don't know, I wrote to it in like an hour and a half, probably. And, but then another thing, so I got the mic from you and everything, and I recorded the song, but I didn't like edit it really. And I just had Audacity up. I don't really, like sometimes I just keep tabs on my computer open, on my laptop open. And then like the next night I looked at it a little bit, editing tiny bit. Same thing, don't close it. Next night, edit a little bit more, don't close it. And then that next night, it was closed. I completely lost my file. I didn't save it or anything. And this was 3 days before.
Yeah, I think
And
you told me that.
I straight up was like, I don't think this is gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I just lost everything I had up to that point. But then the next day, I got home from work, I ate lunch, and then I just got to it, and then I finished it that night. Because I want y'all to get these tattoos.
That's fair.
Was the hardest part just finding like the beat then? Like was that the
Um,
hardest? Or was writing it the
For
hardest?
this one, yeah, probably. It definitely varies per song. Like sometimes it's the lyrics. Sometimes I have like pre-written lines or verses that I like slide into an instrumental.
Mhm.
Sometimes I create on the spot. This time was definitely, it was a mixture of finding the instrumental and then also the editing process, which
That's fair.
I'll be honest, I didn't really enjoy.
This was your first time actually editing, right? On
yeah.
your own?
But I mean, I got it done. Is it the best sound quality? No, but I mean, it got the job done.
It's a good song though.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun to do. I haven't really done that in quite some time, so I did enjoy doing it.
So do you just start out with like an idea of a vibe that you want? Is that like your first thing, and then you find the beat and right to it after that? So you don't have much written before, or
So whenever I'm like exploring beats, I'll load one up, and like my first listen to it is just seeing if I like it at all. And then if I dig it somewhat, I play it again and I'll freestyle to it. Whether that's a pre-written verse or a few lines, or a lot of times when I freestyle, I'm just speaking gibberish. It's just to see if I can like catch the flow. Um, and so that's where this started. And then I just really dug that instrumental that I got. I liked the upbeat sound to it, kind of good summer vibes. Not that it's summer, but I dug
Song
it.
of the summer though.
Yeah.
So that was the first part, and then the first verse was actually a pre-written verse that I had already had in the pocket for a few years. So I put that on there, and then I wrote the chorus and I wrote the second verse. And I don't know, it came pretty naturally. I don't know.
It was good. I like the lyrics were good. I'm surprised you wrote it so fast.
Yeah.
I thought you had like a lot more written beforehand.
Yeah, sometimes it comes easy, sometimes it doesn't. Especially depending on what you're going for. You know, it's not a long song, it's pretty quick. But yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed doing it.
Good.
So
What do you think you'll do anymore?
okay, get the tattoos first?
Just just for
I understand. Here's the thing: people are greedy. They're selfish. You haven't gotten a tattoo yet. I heard Kyla say, "Oh, maybe we'll get an album." Like, be thankful. Be thankful with what you got. Okay.
If you could just upload the other music onto Spotify, I'd be happy.
I can't because I don't own the rights to the instrumentals, and I don't want to buy all those because I had to purchase the beat.
I'll just have to get an SoundCloud account.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still out there, but
All right, we won't be greedy.
I'm not saying it can't happen, but
We'll be hopeful.
chill out.
Mike, did you listen to it?
I sure did.
What'd you think?
I mean, like full honesty or like nice honesty?
I want you to be a hater so you can catch the fade.
Oh, I'm not gonna be a hater because I added it. Like I liked it. It's in my liked songs on Spotify. It'll come on every once in a while, but I'm not seeking to listen to it.
Wow.
I don't know how you feel about that, Eric. I don't know if you appreciate the honesty or if you want me to be a dick rider. That's your call.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to it like a good 5-6 times, put it in my songs, so it's there whenever it comes up on the shuffle. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Yeah, love you.
You want to come and be his bae though?
I mean, I can if he's doing a music video or something. Someone needs to put on something skimpy, get on the hood of a car with a hose going over it. Yeah, I'm your guy. But
money.
A hose or the hose?
The hose, like a fire hose,
Okay.
super high pressure, blow me off of that thing.
Hey, we might have to make that happen.
Yeah,
We can do that.
that'd
We
be
can
good.
record a music video for it. Nah, that'd be fun. But we need to wait till the weather's a little better because it definitely has summer beachy type of vibes. We can go to Atwood Lake. And record a music video in the parking lot.
Go to Beach City Dam.
Beach City Dam. Beach City Dam is sick. Actually.
No, and I appreciate the honesty, Mike. It doesn't matter to me because I don't make music for anyone but myself. I mean, I guess this one technically was for the deal, but it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. And he's not saying he disliked it or anything, but
I liked it enough to put it, like, you know, I put it in my playlist.
and I appreciate that. But like in general, like whether it's how I sound, you know, the lyrics I use, or like I said, I know for a fact the audio quality is not top tier, obviously. So like, you know, it is what it is. I make music for me, and you know, whoever likes it, cool.
And that's
doesn't,
all you need to make it for, though, just for you, man.
Straight up.
We just need to find a bunch of girls and we can recreate the Schoolboy Q Man of the Year music videos. And I'll bring my 4-wheeler and we'll go to Albert Lake. Yeah.
You said find a bunch of girls. Pretty much all y'all are married. Right? Like
I
everyone in
have
the friend
twin
group is
sisters
married.
and a mom if I need to donate.
That would work.
But
Mike.
yeah, my whole thing, it was just too, it was too gangster. You know what I mean? Like, if you would have been rapping about, like, getting good grades and shit, I would have been all in.
Hey, I'm working on that one, so you know, patience.
He's waiting for the Department of Education to get abolished to put out the education song.
Yeah.
Please do.
All right, well, welcome back. We did miss you last week.
I know Kelsey did.
We limped through an episode with Kyla. It was good.
I don't think you limped through. It was good. It was a solid listen.
It was good to have Kyla on last week. She had I learned a couple things about her that I didn't know, and I've known her since I was a little kid. So there you go. You never know what you'll learn.
Straight up.
Today we're interviewing Chester the Cheetah.
That's dope.
Does anybody have any good voice impressions we could do an interview?
I'm real bad at voice impressions. I got nothing.
Nah.
No, nothing. We need someone to do like someone's got a Peter Griffin or something, right?
Mike, if I did, I would.
Give me your best impression here, Mike, of anybody.
Oh, dude. I don't know. Like, you can do, like, only the good ones I can do are, like, you know, Mickey Mouse and Goofy and shit, but you do those better than I do. Well, I don't know if you do Goofy better, but you definitely do Mickey better. So I don't know if I'm really contributing on that front. I'd have to think of, like, someone I should try to imitate.
Yeah. No, I have a good Mickey, but it's not worth it.
Mike, I know you got a good impression of me. Go ahead. Go for it.
Hey, I'm a big dumb idiot. I just grow corn.
Hey, spot on. I couldn't tell that was you.
That was perfect. Yeah.
That's how he walked in the door today.
Yeah.
Go ahead and do Mike's impression. He got a little bit.
I can't.
No, don't.
Don't do it. Piss and shit. I talked about going to the city council meeting, and it was Monday, and I forgot.
Hey, way to make a difference in their life.
Well, they got them are they bi-weekly?
Yeah, they're every 2 weeks. So I'll hit the next one.
Yeah.
In the middle of the month here. It'll be what, next week? No.
Probably.
I gotta probably put it out here.
Probably, yeah, not tomorrow.
You know what? Let's all show up. Everybody that's listening, come. 17th.
I will not be there.
No, actually, our last episode peaked. It had the most listens.
Oh, nice.
Then why am I here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's because our Facebook page shared it. That's all. It's like two.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Skewing the numbers.
They got on it and they're like, "What the hell is this?" And then they got right back off. But hey, it counts. So, you know, we're one step closer.
Hey, we're gonna get that big contract eventually.
Yeah, we need that big sponsorship. We need to get like Skittles to sponsor us or something.
We haven't talked about Skittles one time on this podcast, but yeah.
Look for a dying brand and just all email them like 10 times a day and see if they'll just sponsor us.
So you're putting it out there that they're dying, so they're gonna love hearing that, and then okay, yeah.
They don't have to listen to it.
Like what? Like circus peanuts?
I feel like those
GameStop.
They should be.
GameStop.
GameStop's coming back though.
I mean, we do talk about games a lot. We talk about gaming quite a bit.
I feel like Red Bull throws out sponsorships just because. I just feel like people have that.
Yeah, they have like.
But they toss them to like skilled people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we just have to jump off a bridge once or something
With or without?
Not it.
with like a parachute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but we can base jump once, send a nice video into them. They might give us something. But
That'll be a good video.
I mean, every podcast that I listen to, they got like BetterHelp or
Yeah, it's all mental health.
It's BetterHelp. It's Blue Chew. It's Factor Meals.
yeah.
Fiji water.
Fiji water. B-dubs. I listened to like one podcast, New Heights, and that's about it. So
They just sponsor themselves.
yeah, they actually have B-dub sponsors them, and they got a couple random ones. I don't know, a couple big ones though.
Yeah, but they're also massive football stars.
So, I mean, we can't compare ourselves to them. Not trying to.
Talk about your reading, since you got a big book next to you that you're pretending you're reading.
I'm not reading this book right now.
See, I knew it. It's just for decoration.
I'm assuming he has intent to start it though.
I will eventually. So yeah, I've been reading. Like I said on the last episode, I failed the challenge, but technically got over 10 a day average.
Yeah, that's good enough.
And I've been enjoying it. I've kept it going through February. I keep reading, just not every day. Usually more than 10 pages when I do get some time to do it. But I've had fun. I'm halfway through my second book, so it's slowed down quite a bit. But I've been enjoying it. And actually, Brandon Shade, shout out Brandon. He just gave me this book called Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. It's fat ass book.
It is.
But he got the large print.
It's
so
bigger
it's like,
font though. Yeah.
Oh,
it's a large print version, so it's for like geriatric folks.
this will be like half the size, maybe.
Yeah, so it's like 600, but it'd really be like 300 pages.
Easier on the eyes.
But yeah, I'll break into this. I've been buying books, so I have like a stack now that I need to get through. So, yeah, I don't know. I'll just keep rolling with whatever sounds interesting next. But yeah, I don't know. I got to drive to St. Louis next week, so I'll probably listen to a couple audiobooks on the way there and back. So I'll sprinkle in a little audiobook session. But yeah, it's been nice. What about you?
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, I also failed, technically. I averaged over 10 a day as well, but there were 2 days in January that I did not read.
Yeah.
And so far in February, I've already missed a day. But, I mean, 40 days so far in the year, only missing 3 days
That's
reading,
not bad.
doing pretty good.
Well,
Yeah.
already 40 days in.
Yeah, so,
It's crazy.
I mean, it's no surprise. As I said, I like reading. I've always liked reading, so I've enjoyed it, but it's pushed me a little bit more to make sure I'm reading more, like, because I can go weeks without touching a book,
Yeah.
and I'm glad that I haven't been doing that. And then there was that, like I said, those 2 days in January, they were like in a row. So like on a Thursday, I was like, what the heck? I haven't read, man. I gotta read. But it's been good. I've finished a few books. So yeah.
I find it easier. I would miss most on the weekends. Would think you'd have the most time, but I'm in a better routine during the week. So like 8 or 9 o'clock rolls around and I'm like, I got some time to read. I'll go, read for a little bit. But during the weekend, I'll have free time and just do something else. I'll just chill. And
Yeah, you have more time, but it's unplanned
yeah.
time. So you're kind of just, your day just flows a little differently.
You
So,
often have things you need to do
yeah,
anyway.
So
that
it
aren't
makes
necessarily
sense.
like planned, but you got to do them. So
right.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk about this book real quick. Not that I've read it, but Talking to Strangers. I'm curious, you guys, the four of y'all, I guess. How did you guys all meet, and how did you guys choose to be friends?
cool.
I mean, I'll tell you my side of it because
Yeah, I
Him
guess
and
we can all tell our sides.
I met both of them in 7th grade when I moved to Tuslaw. Well, Travis too. And I was close pretty much right off the bat. Well, actually, probably for a whole year, I wasn't really friends with them until 8th grade, and then sports pretty much. Like Mike played football, and we got close. And then I had a bunch of classes with Travis, and since then, me and Travis and Mike were pretty close. But I wasn't super close with Johnny until later high school. 11th, 12th grade, maybe we started becoming real close, and then after that, I mean, my wife is, how do I say this?
His wife is my wife's cousin.
Yes.
Okay.
So now we're family, and we see each other like at Thanksgiving and Christmas and stuff like that. So that's never gonna change now. We're stuck with each other.
Well,
But-
you never know.
No, yeah, I mean, after high school, we just started spending a lot of time together. All of us did, and
Yeah.
stayed close. And that was 10 years ago now. So
Mike, do you want to give your side before mine?
I mean, yeah, since your side's the most important, I guess. So, yeah, just like growing up, like, Johnny was like one of those like core people that was in everything that I did. Like he was at the summer what was that summer like Bible thing at Chapel of the Cross, Johnny? You were there a couple times.
This is
So like
Bible.
we were there together. We played basketball. We played baseball together for a little bit until he started playing with like the kids that are like a year older. But we like, yeah, we just played sports together all the way through like freshman year. So, him and I were like relatively close. Like I mean, we did like we experienced all those like little milestones, I think, growing up. And then yeah, Dev moved in around like seventh grade. So he was there for like football and stuff, right? Or did you come in eighth grade, Dev?
No, I was there in 7th grade.
Yeah, gotcha. But then I think eventually we found out Devin was funny, and then so we like he was just instantly like kind of like in our friend group right away. But yeah, we hung out with him, and then Trav. I met him when we were in like second grade, and then his mom kind of like was like, "Oh, Trav doesn't really have friends," and then she would pay me every like couple weeks, to just keep hanging out with him. And then just eventually, like, I think around like 11th, 12th grade, I just kind of felt bad for him. So I just kept him around. But she stopped paying me back in like ninth grade ish. Cause yeah.
Oh,
That was very nice.
she didn't. Travis always says she didn't have money for McDonald's, but she was just paying Mike to be his friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
fair.
That's thoughtful of her.
Yeah.
She cares about her son. But yeah,
Do you want to revise any of that statement, Mike?
No.
Or you just gonna stick
I'll
to that story?
stick to that.
1,000% accurate. I recant nothing.
but like I said, and we talked about this before, just to prove my point about like me being a little bit introverted. I still am in a way, but it took me a year to become friends with anybody when I moved to the school
Mhm.
in 7th grade. So, I mean, once I was fine. Once I was, I had some friendships and we hung out outside of school a little bit. But it took me a while to break out of my shell. Like that's who I was when I was at Glen Oak. Like I was a little bit of a clown, but I didn't show that side of me for like a year.
I mean, that happens to a lot of people. You're new, you're going through changes, and all these people, not all of them, but a lot of them already have their friendships and cliques.
Yeah.
So
It's hard to break into that when you're in middle school. It's
Mhm.
like,
Mhm.
yeah, people have friends, and then you start, like, that's when people start getting a little judgy, and like, if you're a little weird or something like that, like, you just don't get to be inside of that crew.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But that's not what I experienced at all. So it was nice. What about you, John? What's your experience?
I mean, I'd say it's weird because you're thinking of like it's like the same timeline, but it's like three separate timelines. Because yes, like Devin said, I knew Travis and Michael since kindergarten. Not that I would say like I was as close with them then as I am now, but like Michael said, just kind of there. Like Travis didn't really play many sports, but he was always at the same birthday parties and at the same events. Would you say that's correct, Mike? Like he was there.
Yeah, I mean, Trav was always around because he was in that, like, he was in the same group as
Yeah.
us, like,
But I guess where I was going with that is, yeah, I met Devin then in middle school and we played basketball together. And there might have been a break there because he quit basketball after 8th grade. And then, like, yeah, we did track together, but we were on separate events.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're on separate events in early high school, you might not go to the same meets together and that kind of thing. But by junior, senior year, we definitely had those sports together, and everyone can drive, so you're meeting people up, but maybe by the time like 11th grade rolled around, I would say that like elementary through middle school, I don't know, and I feel like Michael and Devin can either back me up or call me out on it. I don't know if I had a specific friend group. I felt rather transient in terms of who I was just around. Not that I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was definitely hanging out with Ian a lot, but that's because we were doing multiple sports together.
Right.
That happens. But then I'd say by junior, senior year, I definitely got coalesced into the group. So when you go away for college, I stayed close with Mike because he was away for college. So we had that in common and kind of talked. And then when I would come back, I'd still hang out with these guys. It's just you have that gap kind of.
Yeah.
So it all works out. But I'd say that's how we met. Well, I feel like a lot of that's sports related.
Yeah, it's mostly like going back on what you said, you feel like you were like transient, but to me it was like you were just always with your groups. Like you didn't stay with your grade. It seemed like you hung out with you did cross country, so there was a lot of older folks.
That's fair.
Freshman, sophomore year, and you hung around them a little bit.
Mm.
Just as much as you would with people in ours.
Yeah, I think
class.
That's fair now that you say it like that.
So it seems like you were really honing in on your sports groups.
Yeah,
more than
you spend so much time with them.
Yeah, you do, and that's kind of how a lot of friendships start. But I think a lot of them stop after high school, especially when you go away for college.
Yeah, but I think, like you said, junior year, I think when you get to drive, that helps break out of just your sport. Because like freshman year, you're hanging out with people in your sport because you're with them all the time. Because you have to be, like practices, meets, you go out after. But by the time you can drive, you can kind of choose, like, I'm going to hang out with this big group.
Then you start going to parties and like you realize everyone kind of just wants to party in different ways.
And like I would go hang out at Mike's house and sleep in his basement. And
yeah.
Maybe that played into us becoming better friends too, just being there.
Yeah. Mutual friends. And yeah, definitely Mike's house was like a sanctuary for us all.
The good like meeting ground.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I didn't really have him and Travis, that is, like at my house. And I never really stayed at Devin or Travis's house.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Travis really stayed at his house.
Not much.
It was always Mike's house. So then you kind of coalesce in that group.
Yeah, we'd almost never have. I feel like Mike never had just one person. Like after high school, it was like 2, 3, 4 of us at a time that would be there.
And that just stuck after high school, which, like Devin said, is kind of rare, but it did. Like if me and Mike came home on the weekend, which I was home most weekends because I was coming up to see Olivia, but like Mike would come home and we would still make time to just go over there and stay at his parents' house.
For a while.
I mean, they fucking gutted his room, but we stayed in the basement still.
Yeah, it was still nice.
We
did phase out of that though. We haven't. Yeah, we need to go back and sleep in that basement, Mike.
Fact check all that, Mike. Does that sound good on your end?
That was pretty accurate, but you guys, like, Johnny stopped getting the invite over because he kept eating all my taquitos.
Dude, we're not gonna get on this podcast. That man has never made me a taquito.
We got to the point where Mike's mom was buying a specific brand of chips just for me because I ate so many of those damn chips, those Snyder's barbecue chips.
Amazing.
Nothing was worse than going up the steps though, and it was just like a fucking Nature Valley granola bar. You're like, oh my gosh.
He had like a snack basket, and when the family would go on a diet, it'd be like, fuck, like it'd be like
zero sugar Powerade in the
Propel. When did Eric get involved in it? Was Travis definitely brought you like to us for sure.
Yeah, do you want to talk about how you and Travis met?
Yeah. Let's hear.
I mean, I kind of know from Travis, but just in general.
I don't know if I'm friends with any of y'all. So still trying to figure that out on a daily basis. So,
what the fuck?
No lies told. As you said, Devin, it's hard to break into groups, you know?
Yeah.
Before you go into, I'll let you talk about you and Travis, but do you feel like we were a welcoming group?
Like, do you want the honest answer or
no? Go ahead. Tell the honest answer.
Somewhat. I think it depends on the person in the group.
Like how many people?
Let's hear names.
Yeah, fuck Christian.
Christian.
I think just talk about like me, Devin, and Mike.
No, it just depends like how many like how often I would see certain people. Like I feel like when I first so Trav and I met because someone that was in my grade at my school, her name is Haley. We were good friends, and that is Travis's something. They're
cousin of some
cousin. Yeah, it's the age thing is a little interesting.
Aunt, but cousin.
Yeah, but and then we all started kind of hanging out a little bit from time to time, doing various things, just going on adventures or whatever. And then eventually, Haley and I kind of stopped being friends for no like real reason, no ill will or anything. And then like even Travis and Haley don't talk so much anymore, but we kept our friendship. And a lot of it initially, and I guess even still to this day sometimes, is sports based. Not that it doesn't run deeper than that, because it does, but we play sports a lot, often in the summer, and like the good month, the nice months, we will play like every Friday. We'll play a sport. But it's funny to me because he didn't play sports in school. But he loved
He
sports
always
so much.
liked it.
No, I know. It's just interesting to me that he never like played in school and whatnot.
He doesn't want the organized sports, like no coach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he didn't want coach.
Which is valid, because that's like I've played basketball a couple times and I hated the organized aspect of it.
Has some many coaches.
I'm cool with like some other ones like soccer, and even tennis was cool when I played it in school, but I can definitely understand that. It can take the fun out a little bit when you're just trying to have a good time with your buddies and whatnot. But so even after a while, like me and Trav were friends, and whether it was like maybe we went to a concert together or we, shot some hoops together or whatever, played some video games. I still wouldn't hang out with any of y'all unless it was sport based.
Yeah, I feel like the first time I met you was playing basketball.
Yeah,
probably.
And then it was like that for a little while. And then I feel like it wasn't even Mike that much at that time. But then,
were me and Mike still kind of in college though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think at the time.
Yeah.
So for sure it was less. Devin would be incorporated more and whatnot, and then just random people here and there, But yeah, that's the gist of it. It's nothing crazy. And then eventually I started getting invited to stuff, I guess, and I would show up when I could, and it's kind of still the situation. I don't think any of you guys were like not welcoming or anything. It's just like I said, it's that aspect of getting into a group that's already been established since, for some of y'all, elementary school, and then even for you, middle school, and like I met Travis in high school, but we didn't go to high school together. I'm 2 years older, and also just different schools and everything. So it's just a different aspect, and just like, I guess, getting in. Not that I was like trying to or anything, but it takes a while to like really get incorporated. But none of you guys weren't.
Do you feel like
welcome or anything?
Do you feel like that's like more or less too, like when you're in a group setting too, you still have to get comfortable with individual people?
100%.
And that takes some time to do. Right?
Yeah, that is always the case. And kind of to speak what you said a little bit earlier, Johnny, I feel like I never belonged to a friend group ever in my life. I feel like I always had an easy time making friends, and I got along with the majority of people, but it'd be like I'm over here hanging with these choir people, or I'm hanging out with the soccer people or the tennis people, or these people that we have this same music interest, or we watch the same TV shows. Like, I had a lot of friends, but close friends, not really. Like, I wasn't in those tight groups. And then, like, even my best friend, he's 2 grades below me, and we know each other because our older brothers were in the same grade.
Okay.
And he lived down the street from me. So it's not even like we associated at school. So there's that aspect. And then if I look at some of my close friends to this day, like him, Ben, he 2 grades below me. Travis, different school. My friend Teddy, he went to Jackson. I met him through work after graduating.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it's definitely hard to incorporate yourself. And then even now, like, it's not hard to see in any friend group, and we can speak about your guys's specifically. You associate more with certain people, and it's not because you don't like everyone. It's just you cater towards more certain ones because of just certain connections and whatnot. It's just natural.
Yeah, that's fair.
So
that's very fair.
Yeah, you can't spend time with that many people as often as you need to be, like, consider yourself a close friend to somebody.
Yeah,
like once you get past like 5 or 6, it's like too much.
There's too many people to talk to.
And then you don't have anything else. You don't have any personal time. Like, we struggle with that a lot. Just finding time. You'll be hanging out with family and friends, and then you don't have any time for yourself. And I mean,
like you said, Eric, just trying to get comfortable with someone.
Yeah.
But you're in a group of 7 or something.
Yeah,
it's hard to get
it's
comfortable with
difficult,
individual
yeah.
people like coming
Right.
new.
Especially when all the story, like everything they're talking about, has nothing to do with you. You didn't know anything about it, and you really can't jump in and just take over the conversation because it's like, who is this person? You know, like if you got a story that's related to the one that just got told,
Right.
you don't feel like it's your place to say something. Or,
That's why
That's what I
and I'm cool with group settings. Nothing wrong with them. I can enjoy them for sure, and I do many times. But I strive more in like a one-on-one environment or
Mhm.
like a 1-and-2, whatever. Because as we're alluding to, just being able to build that connection even more, get more in depth with them. The conversations are more personalized to the 1, 2, 3 individuals involved. And then you can, if you already have a gauge on them a little bit, you can crack certain jokes and whatnot, which
Right.
is
Yeah.
big for me. So
yeah, that's how I am too. I get comfortable with through humor saying some stuff that's crazy.
it happens all the time.
I think they connected all though too. Like Mike said about you, like he found out you were really funny. I don't think any of us, because obviously none of us play sports together anymore. But the sports was just, and maybe at Tussall, because Tussall really only had sports. There wasn't like any other clubs to join per se. But you just have that common factor that kind of forces you with someone, not in a bad way, but you're around them all the time because
Right.
you have at least one common interest.
Yeah.
And then you get comfortable with them, you crack jokes,
Mhm.
and then
You find
from,
out.
from there you find other things that you want to keep them around.
Yeah.
Because I played sports with many people that I'm not really friends with anymore.
100%.
Right.
So-
Yeah, you still got to click after that. It's forced, but I mean, you pick 1 or 2 people out of it.
But through that, you find the other connections.
Yeah, so like Devin happened to come to Tussall and he played he probably did football, basketball, and track that first year.
Just football the first year, track and basketball the second.
You didn't play basketball 7th grade?
No, I just played 8th grade.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't have Ellington. Was he the 7th grade?
Yeah, at the time.
See, I just had Williams.
Okay. So you just played
So I
football.
just played 1 year.
But then in 8th grade, you played all 3.
I did all 3.
So at that point, we were, he had already been there a year. We were playing 2 sports together, and I already kind of probably knew him from a class or a study hall or lunch, and then you kind of just build it from there. So,
Yeah. I'll pull the curtains back a little bit. I wasn't even supposed to be on this podcast initially. Like, this was Devin's idea for the 4 of y'all, best friends, all this stuff. And then we were at Applebee's one night talking about it, and I loved the idea, and I've kind of wanted to do a podcast for years, but like never did because I'm lazy, and then also like who would want to listen to me, right? And my opinions on stuff, whatever. But then I texted you the next day, and I was like, "Yo, I'm all in on this,"
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, "Okay, sure, hell yeah, let's do it."
Well, the thing is that at the time, like, I had the idea, and I wanted to, I was talking to everybody about it just to kind of, swag check it, but I didn't have an idea. I was never set on just the 4 of us.
Right, but
So-
that was the original
Yeah, I mean,
concept of it.
I'm glad you decided to jump on because you brought a lot to this podcast that I think, you have a different perspective on things, and it's good to have that because, like you said, we've been friends for so long. We don't have sometimes we don't reach past that a little bit, and we don't have a ton to talk about.
Yeah,
but it's good to have you on. So yeah, but it was never like that really. But I mean, if you wouldn't have said that, I wouldn't have even asked because it's a lot to ask of somebody, especially we didn't know if we were going to do weekly or bi-weekly or whatever. But even to get together every other week is like kind of difficult sometimes to get everybody, where we have like an hour and a half or 2 hours to kill to record. Now that Mike's, in Columbus, the first few episodes he was here for the holidays, so it was easy, but it's not like it's difficult with him being on here.
But every single week we're like, hey, who's available? It's always a conversation of, hey, I'm available Thursday night, Friday night, and then I'll be like, hey, I'm working both those nights. I'm available Sunday, but Travis works, and Mike's like, hey, I got to do this. We always have the conversation. We make it work, but obviously last time I wasn't here, but I told you that in advance.
Yeah,
I was gonna be in Kentucky, so
we haven't been able to line up in about a month, but it's fine. I mean, we don't need 6 people on.
No, we have enough people here to fill it and everything, but
yeah,
we'll have to ask Travis though. When next week, I want to hear his lineage. Because, like I said, all these,
Oh yeah,
me, you, and Mike's stories all sounded pretty much the same.
it's just a different,
Just a slightly
viewpoint.
different
Yeah.
perspective.
Yeah,
That's all.
yeah, because I was like on the outside a little bit. And I had to break in. But
Because I had to wait, as someone who didn't play football in middle school, I had to wait for like Michael to kind of bring Devin, you know, around to meet other people.
yeah,
Right.
That's definitely how I met him in school after football. Because like he already kind of knew him from that, and you know he's the new kid, so you like find that common person that knows him.
I am curious if like Trav knows the first time we hung out, like what we did, because I don't know.
like 1-on-1 or
No, with Haley, but like, what even were we doing that day?
I feel like
you know, I don't.
it was at a party or something.
I don't think the first time we met was like that.
It wasn't the first time. I just remember seeing a picture, like the first picture I ever saw of you
Oh yeah,
was like
but we were already friends at that point.
okay.
I think this could be wrong. There was a time whenever I went over to Haley's house, Trav was there, because Haley and I used to live close to each other, and I think we just were watching stupid YouTube videos all night.
Mm.
I think there was this channel called How to Basic, and dude,
Oh, God.
yeah,
We know how to bait.
yeah, we connected over that. But I don't know if that was the first time or not.
I will say having a mutual, like when you have a mutual friend to like meet new people is funny, because I remember meeting Eric, and then I remember texting him jokingly about hanging out, and he said, I don't know, Travis never invites us over. Which is funny, because it's like, you know, you're still working through that mutual friend. Like, I knew it was a joke,
It was valid
but
though.
it's like funny because you're still working through a mutual friend.
Because what happens, this is a very real thing, and part of me understands why it happens, but I'm also going to put it out there. There are times when, let's say Travis says it, or like Kyla says it or something, like, Eric, you never hang out. And I'm like, I don't get these invites. And the reason that I don't get all the invites, well, sometimes you might not want me there, and that's cool. But sometimes I'm busy. So
Yeah.
then if I'm busy the last 5 invites, you stop inviting so much sometimes. And that happened at one point. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry I work so much and I do all this stuff. I want to hang out. It doesn't mean don't invite me. And that happened at one
Well,
point. So it was kind of valid.
And sometimes you just hang out with people individually. I
Yeah.
feel like there was times I could go to the rec center.
Yeah, and just to go back a little bit on what you said, I don't think there's ever been a time where I'm like, I don't want Eric here.
No, I don't think so. I
It's
just,
just like when you said, there's times where we don't want you around, or I don't want you, or somebody.
Yeah, I don't.
It's never
No,
been the case, you know.
it's fine if
It might
it
just
is.
been the way it came out, but I just want
No.
to say.
Now with my buddy Mike,
Fuck.
I didn't mean that. I always want you home and around.
No, I get it.
I'll say this now. I met all y'all through Travis. But
Mhm.
of the 4 of y'all, Travis is my least favorite now. Okay.
That's so real.
So real, right?
Is this mom paying you still?
I actually, no.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, you know what? Being from a small town is funny sometimes, because like I was obviously friends with Travis throughout elementary school and got closer after high school, but like in another life, his grandma was renting a trailer off my grandpa and living on the farm like well before we were born, which is like crazy.
Amazing.
Now that's this life.
Well, it's his life, but like before me.
Yeah,
too.
That was crazy. Yeah.
A couple of
crazy.
generations ago, they were connected still. That
and,
is funny.
And like Michael's mom went to high school with my parents, so
yeah.
well, and
Yeah.
Travis's parents too. But
I don't have any lineage out here, so my grandpa moved us from his family from Wisconsin, so everybody's out there.
yeah,
All the old timers.
but now you got friends and everyone.
Yeah. I mean, my mom and dad are here.
So, to get back to where this started, Talking to Strangers, the book, I would urge everyone, not just here, but listening, to talk to a stranger. You know, it doesn't have to be
Oh,
every
man.
day, but you know, within the week, couple weeks.
I do it all the time, and
I do it
it's
too,
fun.
and it's fantastic. But some people don't like doing that, and it doesn't mean you have to make a new friend. It can be easy sometimes. It can be hard sometimes, but you know, just it brightens a lot of people's day. Just
Yeah.
a small conversation.
Even
would
just,
think.
even just like the cashier at the Bell stores.
100%.
I enjoy that.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I'm jumping ahead, but I actually had a couple things like new ideas, and one of them was a 14-day compliment a stranger challenge, where for 14 days straight you have to compliment a stranger, find somebody and give them a compliment, or a random act of kindness 14-day. So that's like from this podcast to the next one.
It's like when I'm at work, because of all the people I interact with, I'm constantly just having conversations with them, and I mean they tell me sometimes how much they love it and whatnot, and but I enjoy it too. I love conversing with people.
Yeah, it's easy like when you're working with the public, to just not like have a very surface level dull conversation, because I've definitely been there when I worked with the public. But yeah, to dive a little deeper, I mean, it does take a little effort, like not much, but that effort is like conveyed and felt from the other person, so it makes them feel more important and like somebody cares about them. And it could just be just asking a simple question that wouldn't normally be asked of somebody, and that just sparks one thing to another. I think it's a great thing. I've been gravitating towards this kind of book reading. Like the Seek book was about curiosity and meeting people, and this one Brandon just recommended to me, so I'll get to it eventually. But yeah, I think it's something that I don't do enough is talking to strangers. So I'm down if you guys want to jump on this.
I'll keep doing it.
Since
I think you'll like it.
It was nice to hang out with everybody over the weekend.
Yeah. Did you guys have fun?
Yeah, it was a good time.
I assume you were there, right?
We let loose, that's for sure.
Where'd you go to eat? Because when I was talking to Kyla on Wednesday night when we were playing volleyball, she had no clue where you guys were going.
It was called the Lakeside or Lake Shore?
Lake House.
Lake House. It wasn't even on a lake.
It was on the river.
It was on
Do
the
them
river.
for that.
It was in the flats. Is that what that is? That area?
Yeah.
It was a good restaurant. The only one that could get 16 people sat with a little time period. I think you reserved it like a week ahead.
What'd you have?
They had a small menu. I had lemon pepper chicken.
Okay.
And they had like smash burgers, and they had a lot of fish food, but I don't like seafood.
Yeah.
So they had a lot of different types of fish, but what'd you get?
I got chicken strips. They were really good. Travis showed me a picture of them. You could tell
Of course he did. That dude loves his chicken strips.
Yeah.
And it came with 4 house-made sauces, and I was like, I'm sold.
It was a fun time. We didn't have a lot of time. We just had we got up there at 7. As soon as me and Kels got up there, we went to dinner, and then we went to the casino, and I lost $140 in less than 10 minutes.
That's the way it goes.
And
I remember Travis doing that in Vegas.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
He did it again.
Did it again.
Surprise.
I think everyone except for Kyla lost money. Well,
She did at the end, I think.
I think she was still positive though.
Oh, okay.
I think she was positive 100 is what I think she told me.
Yeah.
So that's good for her. But everyone else lost everything they had. I almost lost the house and the car and the dog.
I believe that
Like
fully.
I was going in, but then we went to Dive Bar, which we've gone there. I think every time I go up for Kyla's birthday, we go to Dive Bar, and there was like 3 people in there.
It was just dead for some reason.
Yeah, it was weird. It was Saturday night. There was 30 cops on the road
Jeez.
and no people. It was strange.
I want to hear where my buddy Mike ate this weekend. He wasn't able to come because he was celebrating his and his mother's birthday. So I didn't talk to him about it yet. Where'd you go, Mike? Somewhere good?
I didn't go to Cleveland because I didn't get invited. But my mom, sisters, one of my brother-in-laws, and then my dad came down. And we went to a place called High Bank Distillery. Kind of like they make their own stuff. I know they make vodka and whiskey. I'm not sure what else, but we went there. Great food, and then that was pretty much it. They just had happy hour from like 3 to 6. We had a 4:30 p.m. reservation, which made me feel like super old, but we didn't actually eat till like 5:30, so it was like a little more normal,
What'd you do after that?
We went back to we were staying at my friend's place because she's got a travel contract in Arizona. She's had it for like 5 months, so her place has been empty and I've been taking care of it. And she told me to just have everyone over to her place, so that's what we did. Everyone just went back there. We had beer, wine, everything, and we all just sat and like just had a good time. That was pretty much it. We were just talking too. No one was doing anything crazy. I think towards the end of the night they put on that new Will Ferrell movie, but no, we just pretty much shot the shit.
That's nice.
Nothing wrong with shooting the shit.
You had a good time then?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. I didn't. It wasn't. It was weird. My girlfriend's family joined us, and my parents and sisters just instantly like clicked with them, which was a little, I don't know. Is it like What's the word I'm looking for? Like spooky, weird.
I mean,
that's like a relief, honestly. But
yeah, that's like we were talking about earlier. Like Eric said, meeting a different friend group or like getting into something like that's like that vibe.
that's like you're on the same team now.
Yeah.
That's a forced meeting.
Yeah, like I didn't think about the seating situation ahead of time, so it was really like I sat across from like my dad, and then I was the only one on that side of the table. Everyone else was on the other side, and then like my two sisters and my one brother-in-law were on the other end, so I wasn't near them. I didn't think about it ahead of time. And then my girlfriend gets there, she sits next to me, and then her parents sit over by my sisters and brother-in-law. And I was like, oh, that's kind of, well, we're just gonna see if they make conversation, And I heard my girlfriend's dad look at my brother-in-law, and he just said, hey, I don't bite unless you want me to. And then immediately they just fucking, my brother-in-law was like, oh, this guy gets it. And then they just talked for like the next like 40 minutes.
Mike, I want to say on this too, have it on the record that my dad met your girlfriend before your own family did.
That is accurate.
And we did a similar seating at his birthday where I sat next to you and Olivia, and Emily sat next to my dad and my not yet brother.
I forgot about that. She was over there shooting the shit.
Dude, she's in the trenches.
Crazy. Luckily, they had stuff to talk about.
You had a farmer. Is it Victor?
Yeah, it was Victor.
A master brewer.
Luckily, they all knew Columbus, and like she's been in Columbus her whole life, so they had stuff like that to talk about. It was funny.
Yeah. Those can be awkward though. I've been at some weddings that I knew nobody at, and you're talking to people, and you're like, you know what? I think I'm just done talking.
Those are great though, because you can lie. You can say whatever you want when no one knows you.
Yeah,
you can.
You say whatever.
Anything up you want.
That's me in most interactions.
It's great.
That's nice, but like you get someone that's just terrible, and like you don't want to speak to them at all. You literally can sit across from them and just look away, and you don't have to talk to them. You don't have to put any effort in if you really. I mean, if you talk to them for a little bit and realize, hey, this person sucks, I'm done talking to them. That's the best.
I do want you to do that challenge because I find great enjoyment out of talking to random people.
Yeah,
I have so much fun saying stuff to people.
Yeah, which one? What should we do? Should we do the random act of kindness one or the 14-day, the complimenting a stranger one?
I like complimenting because that's like an act of kindness.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, people enjoy that.
Thing.
2 and 1. Yeah.
Like I said, even if it's just the cashier at, like if you stop at Speedway going to work.
Tell them you like their hair or something.
There's one girl at that Speedway that I always had to listen. Well, I say it like that's kind of negative to say, but you might have had her, but she just kind of has NPC conversation.
Yeah.
When I was going out to Worcester, and she'll just talk.
Are you talking about the old lady?
No, it's a younger lady.
Okay. What time you?
There's an old lady that always told me to be safe.
Yeah, she always says be safe at the end.
But there's a younger lady. She talked to all of us though, and she always tells me a story, and it's always about her boyfriend or something. She said something about Kyla's ring. I know that.
They are a wild card, but my experience is they're usually pretty nice, though.
Yeah, no, she's very nice.
But
It's just
they'll say some stories. They see everybody.
Yeah.
So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's do that. I mean,
how many challenges do you want me to fail on this podcast?
This is. Hey, it's just something to keep it interesting. I mean, this is gonna take less than 10 seconds a day.
Yeah. You just gotta talk to someone at the grocery store.
I do that most of the time.
Yeah, you probably do it without even thinking about it too.
Yeah, just kind of record it a little bit in your head. That's what I'll start doing.
Yeah.
So I can remember it.
And if not, then I'll just walk outside and flag someone down on the street, tell them I like their car, and then go to bed.
This is the oldest beater in the world. Your muffler hangs down nicely on the ground.
Yeah. No, I think I'll do it for 14 days.
I'm gonna set a challenge for myself.
Okay.
It's a small one. And I don't want to talk Skittles out from sponsoring us. Okay, because I would love that sponsor.
Okay.
But
Oh.
I'm going to attempt to not eat candy for the next 2 weeks.
Candy.
Ooh,
Okay. That might sound minor to some people.
You don't want a Reese's egg I got in the cabinet.
That's the thing I do, and I want 10 of them. Okay.
When do you start?
Maybe after the Reese egg, if
Okay.
you have one.
So
But
start it tomorrow.
yeah,
It's a
so
super
many
one.
people. Yeah, no, I'm gonna eat because we're going. I don't know what's gonna be at Kai's house, but don't get me wrong. I like candy. I used to always think that I don't have a sweet tooth. Like I prefer savory things, but often like I'll hit up a gas station to get like a Mountain Dew, right? And I almost always get a candy bar
Oh,
too.
you kind of have to.
I know, but like I need to stop because I do it too much.
No, I understand.
And like
But-
a lot of our patients bring us candy, and I'm talking daily.
Oh,
Wow.
So like I eat them, and that's fine. But part of my, we talked about failure briefly, and I'm not going to get too much into this, but I want to lose weight this year, and right now I don't feel like I'm doing it. So eating candy is not helping, and I'm not setting this long term. I'm not like for the rest of the year. I just want to see what I can do in the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
See if I'm capable, to see if I have that willpower. So yeah, I'm gonna try to do that.
Well, I'll give you your last candy bar,
Okay.
and then you got to start after that.
There we go.
For sure. Like I said, I'll start tomorrow. But yeah.
Well, how are you going to get into the gas station and compliment the people that work there if you don't go in to buy a candy bar?
I use self checkout most of the time, so because there'll be like a line with 7 people in it, and I'm like, "Hey, any of y'all gonna use that self checkout?" And they're like,
Yeah.
"No, I don't know how to use that." I'm like, "All right, I'll go."
So you got a 14-day candy challenge.
Also, compliment your homies. Okay, you should always do that. So I'm gonna start right now. Okay, I'm gonna start this challenge today. Mike, you got a nice rump.
He hears that every damn day.
I know he does,
Helma's got a good hairline.
but he doesn't.
No, he does.
What? Not what the fuck? What
He's
do you
got
mean?
he's got good hair.
I don't. I'm joking.
His hairline is standing tough.
I just don't really have an opinion on your hairline.
That's all right. Didn't need to comment.
All right, guys, that's a wrap on this episode. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to listen. First person to comment's getting $15 Venmo to him because he made it this far. Shout out to you. We do have a budget. It's $15 a month. So, hey, leave a comment. You'll get $15. Guaranteed. One of us will send it to you. All right.
Not
If you enjoyed the episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, share it with a friend. And we love to hear your stories too, so don't forget to connect with us on Instagram. Until next time, stay comfortably uncomfortable and keep being incredibly average. Real trash. Yeah. Love you.
Love you.
Mm.
Yum, 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 yum.
Thanks for listening, everyone. All right.